In this video, we're going to be testing the Beats Studio 3, the Beats Solo 3, the Beats Solo Pro, the Beats EP, and last but not least, the Beats Flex. The purpose of this review, guys, is basically if you're looking for a pair of Beats headphones, well, watch this review and I'm going to go through different aspects of all these different headphones. Hopefully it will make your decision a little bit easier. Now, one thing that's really important, a lot of people ask me this, is how do the headphones charge? Well, Studio 3's micro USB. That's how they charge. It's a little bit old-fashioned now. So there you go. The Beats EP, well, this is a wired set of headphones, so these don't need charging. What about these? They charge using USB-C. You might be able to see there. So these are USB-C, much more up-to-date method of charging. What about the Beats Solo 3? These use micro USB like the Studio 3. So that's a bit old-fashioned. And what about the Beats Solo Pro that we have here? Well, that one actually uses a proprietary port by Apple, I believe. This must be the Apple Lightning connector. Now that's not a very good thing if you don't own an Apple product, for example an iPhone. So yeah, they do bundle a wire in the box, but I don't like having different wires. I think it's about time we have one wire, micro USB, and it fits every single device. The next thing we're going to talk about is the headphones. What type of headphones are they? Well, this is the newly released Beats Solo Pro. I think this is the newest of the bunch. This is a on-ear headphone, so it sits on your ears, as you can see. So it doesn't go around the ears, it goes on your ears. A little bit more compact in terms of the fitting. They are relatively comfortable, but they're not going to be as comfortable as around the ear headphones as well. Also, on the ear headphones tend to have worse sound quality than over ear, but we'll determine that later because that's not always the case. The Beats EP, these are wired headphones and they're on ears as well, just like the Solo Pro. The Beats Studio 3, these are around the ear headphones. As you can see, they're going around my ear barely, but it basically means a much more comfortable fit in the end. And then we have the Beats Flex here. These are your typical earbud style earphones, so in they go like that. You know, they're comfortable. I mean, they're light, aren't they? And then we have the Beats Solo 3. These are again on-ear headphones. Another feature that you might be looking for is noise cancelling technology. Now, which one of these has noise cancelling technology? I can tell you that the Beats Studio 3 has noise cancelling technology. Basically means there's a microphone on the outside. It measures basically what's going on outside, so the ambient noise, and it uses that and it makes an inverse signal and cuts that noise out. So when you put this on your head, it will actually cut the outside noise better than most headphones that would be able to without noise cancellation. Then we have the Beats Solo 3. This does not have noise cancellation, so there's no microphone doing that. The only isolation you get is the isolation from putting it on your ears and trying to trap out the outside noise. A lot of the time that's useful, but on a plane, for example, it probably won't be good enough, but we're going to test that later. Again, we have the Beats EP, and that's going to be like the Beats Solo 3. It's not noise cancelling technology. Then we have the Beats Solo Pro. Now this does support noise cancelling technology like the Beats Studio 3. Okay, so this is something that you might want to consider if you do a lot of traveling. Then we have the Beats Flex here. And while this does not provide noise cancelling technology, because they're right in your ears, they might do quite a good job of blocking outside noise. Again, we'll have to test that later in the noise cancelling part of this review. But now we're going to go on to the sound quality test. To do this sound quality test, I'm going to use my phone. This is a Sony Xperia 1 Mark II. And it's got the latest Bluetooth and all that stuff on it. And I'm going to use it in the best mode I possibly can. Obviously, the Beats EP is wired, so we're going to use a wired connection. This phone does have a headphone jack. We're going to put that in like that. We're going to compare the quality between the wired and wireless connections and see if there's a major difference. While we're here, let's also compare the cases of these headphones. So this little pouch here, this is for the Beats EP. This is by far the cheapest of the bunch, as it should be, because if you consider the price, the Beats EP is basically the cheapest of the bunch, along with the Beats Flex. This little case here, this one is for the Beats Solo 3. This is one of my favorite cases out of the bunch. This one here is for the Beats Solo Pro. So here's the Beats Solo Pro, and it fits in there. Obviously they fold like this. Okay, and it fits into this case. And I think the best case out of all of them is this one here. This is the Decade Edition Beats Studio 3 case. As you can see, it says 10 years on that, and it's much harder. It's probably going to protect your headphones a lot better than the other ones, and it's got a robust kind of zip on the outside. The Beats Flex are earbud headphones, and they don't have a case as far as I'm aware. So the first part of the sound quality test, or the sound test, well, what I'm going to do is I'm going to test the sound quality, tell you what I think. And the second part of the test is which of these headphones go the loudest, because a lot of people ask me that, which ones go louder. So let's do that now. So first of all, I'm going to try the Beats Studio 3. Now I'm going to try the Solo 3s. Okay, I can tell you that the bass sounds a little bit muddier on this, and the sound is less kind of far away from your head, if you know what I mean. So you feel a bit more trapped in with the sound. However, it sounds a little bit like this one here goes a bit louder than the Studio 3. Just double check that. Yeah, these definitely go louder on my device than the Beats Studio 3. But again, they start to distort a little bit at the highest volumes, but it depends what you like. So now we're going to try the Beats Solo Pro. Okay, to my ears, these at the moment sound better than all the other headphones. And funnily enough, including the Beats Studio 3. These have a much better tonal balance. The bass is less muddy as well, which is good. And this is actually quite surprising, to be honest with you. These are better than the Beats Studio 3s. Weird. Anyway, let's now try the Beats EP. Running out of space here on this desk. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, the Beats Solo Pro sounds louder than the Beats Studio 3 as well. So it's louder, and I turned it all the way up, and it distorts less than the Solo 3 as well. So if you want louder and less distortion, why wouldn't you? Then the Beats Solo Pro is the best so far. Let's try this. Okay, so far the Beats EP go the loudest. Now that's also determined by your headphone amplifier as well. So my Sony is actually powering these. So these can go the loudest out of all the rest. I would say the quality, yeah, the quality of these is somewhere in between the Solo 3 and the Solo Pro. So it's better than the Solo 3, but a little bit worse than the Solo Pros. That's my take on it. Now we're going to test the Beats Flex. Okay, so my interpretation is the best out of these headphones in terms of the sound quality, in terms of all the details that you can hear, is the Beats Solo Pro is in my opinion the best, along with the Flex actually, because with the Flex you're so close to the audio, and you also get a bit more of a bass response as well. It's a bit bloated, the bass, a bit too much bass, but you know, if you want big bass, then I would go for the Flex. And I would say the worst performers are the Studio 3 and the Beats Solo 3. They are the worst performers, and the Beats Studio 3 is the most expensive out of all of them. So yeah, maybe not the best value for money. So I'd say go for this one. Now we're going to do the noise cancelling test, or the noise rejection test. I'm going to put on an airplane cabin sound over my speakers. I'm going to test all these headphones and tell you which one's the best if you're a frequent traveler, let's say, and you want appropriate headphones for that job. Okay, I've loaded up the track. Let's start. I'm going to start with the Beats Flex and see how good it is. So it's blocking out a lot of noise, but I can still kind of feel what's going on. I can feel the bass. I'm still very aware of the bass of the engines of the airplane. So let's now move on to the Solo Pro. This one has noise cancelling technology, so it should do a better job. Yeah, so definitely this takes away some of the bass from the engines that I could still hear with the earbud, the Flex headphones. So let's now move on to the Solo 3 and see how much better the Solo Pro is going to be at rejecting noise. So yeah, with the Solo 3s, you can hear everything, absolutely everything. So there's no point in getting the Solo 3s. If you want to go on trains, if you want to go on planes and buses and stuff, you're much better off with the Flex if you want something cheap and good sound quality. Or potentially, if you want to spend a bit more and get noise cancelling, then the Solo Pros. So let's now try the Beats Studio 3, which also has noise cancelling, which is going to be the best. Let's see. Way better. All right, so that one settles that. The Beats Solo Pro, I think, is the best value product out of the Beats range. I think it's better than the Beats Studio 3 at noise cancelling. Well, in fact, it's definitely better at noise cancelling. And I think it's better in terms of sound quality. I'd rather listen to these. I know they're on my ears, but it's just a little bit clearer. Everything's a bit clearer and a bit more high fidelity than the Studio 3s. So that's where I would go. But if you want comfort, then these are better. Of course, they're on the ear. They're the most comfortable. One thing we didn't test with the airplane test was the wired EP headphones. I'm just going to do that now. I think we know what's going to happen. Well, that's the end of that test. So yeah, if you haven't gathered, they're no good. Now we're going to go on to the sound quality test. I'm going to record something through each of these headphones, and you can determine what the best microphone quality is of the bunch. I'm now testing the sound quality of the Beats Studio 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm now testing the sound quality of the Beats Solo 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm now testing the sound quality of the Beats Solo Pro. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I'm now testing the sound quality of the Beats Flex. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So guys, I hope you enjoyed the video. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.